Hello everyone, my name is Chad Williams. I am a senior economics student at Buffalo State College, and today I will be introducing you to due process, a different approach to raising awareness and championing social justice. According to the U.S. Census, African Americans only make up 34% of the population, while white Americans are 76.5%. Yet, African Americans are incarcerated at 5 times the rates of whites in America. If you think about it, that statistic is staggering. The problem being racial profiling. It leads to Black Americans more likely to get stopped, frisked, charged, and detained. For example, Trayvon Martin. On the night of February 26, 2012, Martin was walking home from the store with his hoodie on, through a predominantly white neighborhood with an Arizona juice can and a bag of Skittles. George Zimmerman, a mixed-race man, gunned him down. That night, a young black male was racially profiled and killed because of the way he looked. There are too many cases similar to this one, such as Samir Rice, Sandra Bland, Philando Castile, the list goes on. Our mission is to raise awareness and champion social justice through our brand due process. In New York City, where I'm from, what you're wearing growing up is a huge thing. New York City is known to be one of the fashion capitals of the world, so you always want to look your best and have the newest things in fashion. I want to capitalize off of that mindset and infuse it with some due process. You can look good and at the same time bring awareness to the racial disparities that exist in today's criminal justice system. We create streetwear that is not only aesthetically pleasing, but also has an underlying meaning to it through its designs. The underlying meaning being that you're no longer standing with the injustices that occur in America daily. Basically, clothe them with a voice. You do not have to technically speak out loud, but your due process apparel will do the speaking for you. 15% of all profits will be donated to a defense fund, where the goal of that fund will be to help properly fund more public defender positions. In most cases, public defenders have way more cases than they should have. They are overworked and underpaid. In result to that, the public defenders will even advocate for a plea deal for their clients when the time required to fully litigate certain issues would be too demanding of their already limited time and burdensome caseload. Defendants will 9 times out of 10 accept a plea deal, even if they didn't commit the crime to begin with, because they would feel as if it is their best option. I want everybody to make it to a courtroom, and once in that courtroom, I want them to have a fair chance at justice. As of target market's goal, we will be aiming towards the urban youth ages 15 to 25, supporters of social justice, and last but definitely not least, fashion enthusiasts. These next 2 slides are the results from a survey administered by Strategy and Hypebeast, a popular online media outlet on how streetwear consumers become who they are. Consumers of streetwear are generally young. 60% of consumers surveyed were under 25. You do not have to be rich to wear streetwear. 70% of participants said they make $40,000 or less per year. 50% of the participants said they spend an average of $100 to $300 on a single item. You can have a website or a physical store. Consumers will find a way to get your product. 53% of participants said they were more likely to buy in-store, while 42% said they'd rather purchase online. 84% of consumers said social media is their top source of influence. If they see a celebrity or social media influencer wearing it, it makes them want it. Here is a chart of consumer spending insights. You may pause the video here to look at it. Although there are many streetwear brands, no one is quite like Due Process. Of the many streetwear brands that there are, no one offers a product which promotes social justice through streetwear and has a goal of bettering the U.S. court systems. Due process will be more affordable than your typical streetwear. You do not have to break the bank to get you some due process. 15% of every purchase will be donated to a defense fund, and I can say with 100% certainty, no other streetwear brand is doing that. Due process will benefit the American economy. Everything Due Process will be manufactured in the U.S., unlike many other streetwear brands that are made in China but sold for high in the U.S. And lastly, while wearing Due Process, you will not only promote that changes have to be made, but you will have a voice in the matter of social injustices without saying a word, but by wearing your voice. Going into the startup of this company, I did a good deal of research attempting to find the best and least expensive ways to start up a business. From doing that, I learned to not do that. Everybody will have a different experience, and you just have to do it to find out yours. To start off, I had to graphically design my logo. I did not have the first clue on how to do that. So for that, I went to the graphic design department in my school, pitched to a few students, they liked it, and I now have a team of 5 dedicated graphic artists who help me bring my designs to life. The next step was to get the apparel, blank sweaters and blank shirts. I was looking to buy in bulk, so I filed to get a wholesale license so the overall cost would be cheaper. I got my blank apparel from a site called Jiffy Shirts. Now that I had the logo and apparel, it was time to bring this brand to life. I found a local print shop with great rates and I worked with them. While the apparel was being printed on, that gave me time to fine-tune my marketing plan. I heavily relied on consumer spending habits to create it. First, I created a due process page on every social media platform. To gain followers on the brand page, I promoted it on my personal note page and told friends to also promote it. I then posted mock-ups of the apparel every day. I did that because it keeps the followers engaged and makes the drop of the apparel more anticipated. I viewed it as people spend hours a day on social media, and if I'm not posting, then another brand is catching their eye. Interaction is a huge part of branding. After the apparel was ready for sale, I gathered models from the fashion department of my school and did a photo shoot with them wearing the due process apparel. And I also got it into school fashion shows. I did this so consumers can get a look on how the clothing looked on a person. Another way I would promote the brand is by sending out free apparel to celebrities with a business card inside explaining the mission behind the brand. In specific, I sent the package to social media influencer and civil rights activist Sean King. He stands for no social injustices and has a fan base of over 1 million. The ideal candidate to promote due process. We know our consumer shop online is heavy and influenced by social media, so at the onset we won't require the heavy investment of a physical store. Future plans for due process include wholesaling apparel to retail stores at first in New York City and then in the long run worldwide. In the beginning, we will donate 15% of the profits to the National Association for Public Defenders, but have a long-term plan of starting up our own entity to help with the advancement of public defenders. I purchased 48 hoodies at the wholesale price of $12 each. To get the design printed onto the hoodie was $5.50 each. To get the logo graphically designed was at no cost because I found a team that believes in the process. And the total cost of hoodies manufactured was $849, with $17.50 being the cost of one hoodie individually. To buy the shirts, wholesales were less expensive at $5 for one, and I purchased 68 of them. To get the designs printed onto the shirts were at the same price, $5.50. The total cost of shirts manufactured was $714, with $10.50 being the cost of each shirt individually. The retail price for one hoodie is $50, and the retail price for one shirt is $30. We had a gross profit margin of 65%. To get the retail price of the hoodies and shirts, we followed the price leadership strategy constructed off of market monitoring of what consumers are willing to pay for other streetwear products. We then decreased that by 10% while still making great profit and producing amazing quality product. Total sales in the winter of 2019 was 42 hoodies and 25 shirts, which accumulated to a gross profit of $1,296 in 2019. 70% of sales came from social media marketing and 30% came from brick and mortar type sales such as pop-up shops on school campuses and performance centers. All profits minus the 15% for the legal defense fund will be reinvested into the company. 65% will go towards future production of due process apparel, and the remaining 20% will go towards creating a website that will truly represent the epitome of due process, so the supporters get a nostalgic feeling when browsing through it. These are the sales projected for the rest of the year. They could be way more aggressive, but I'm currently a full-time student, so my time was split. I will be graduating this year, giving me more time to dedicate to the company so that we can see more growth. For a 3-year sales projection, please take a look at the backup slides. If I was to win this competition, I would use the funds to first trademark the brand. Then I would put most of it towards the next batch of due process apparel and the promotion that goes with that, and also towards the creation of a website. This is our next design that is still in the works. We call it Timar. The design is a portrayal of Trayvon Martin with Skittles in his pocket and an Arizona juice can in his hand, incorporated with some due process. His head is in the shape of an O, portraying the second O in due, and his body is in the shape of a P, as in the first letter of process. This was our first design, Dopey, incorporated with some due process. The significance of this shirt was to not judge a book by its cover. Just because the shirt says Dopey doesn't mean a person is addicted to drugs or not worthy of a fair trial. Do your process. To close, I want to thank Professor Chaz, Karina Laura, Marilyn Roach, and the whole of the Buffalo State Small Business Development Center for advisement throughout this whole process. Thank you guys. I would like to also thank you, the judges, for acceptance into this prestigious competition. It has always been a dream of mine to present my craft, and you guys gave me a platform to do so. Unfortunately, it cannot be in person because of the COVID-19 pandemic that is taking the world by storm, but us as humans still found a way to get the important things done. I hope you all and your families are staying safe and healthy. Thank you guys for your time. I truly hope you like and consider my business plan so we can together help raise awareness and take action towards social justice. And remember, take a breath. look at a situation from an outside lens, take one more breath, and then do your process.